Today is still November 12th, 2023. Now, I've done this tape before, um, and I'll go over rookies again. How much you're sleepwalking? Now, the police said they already know they're mind controlling drugs. You're sleepwalking for 4 to 6 hours. In the case they bragged they could control anybody with their drugs. All right. My neighbor Mike, I live in townhouses. There's rows of them, then one's off to the side. He came up to me. I'd walk out of my apartment in the morning, got my vehicle. He walked up to me. He said, "Hey, I got a problem." I got out. I said, "Well, what's that?" He's like, "I don't know. How I got home." I'm like, "Just go sleep it off." He's like, "You don't understand. I've been sitting there for hours." It's like, "Well, what do you remember?" The second beer. I'm like, "Just go sleep it off." He's like, "You don't understand. I got $80 in my pocket and I don't know where it came from." And I'm like, "You better check your bank." He did what I told him to, took out his phone, looked it up. He's like, "Well, I took 100 out." He said, "That explains the 80. But what was in the box with mustard and how did I change my shoes?" I'm like, "Oh my God, he's been out sleep driving all night. Go sleep it off. Somebody's roofied him, okay?" And he looked at me and talking just fine, looked at me and said, "I used to be a New York cop and you're pretty." And I looked at him, I said, "You really need to sleep it off." Because he doesn't talk to me like that normally. Okay? Well, I checked on him a while with it. I forget how long I've been. Waited a while and I checked on him. And I seen him out. And he said he had went back down to that bar. In the middle of the second beer, he started telling people he was an astronaut, he found out. Nice to some people and swore at others and left. I said, "Well, you told me you were a New York cop." He said, "I don't even remember saying that to you." I could have told him to say anything and he would have done it and never remembered. My coworker, Dar, I was training her and there was a guy sitting outside our clients. I said, "Well, who's that?" She's like, "Well, we're just friends, but my friends are worried about me, so they keep an eye on me." I said, "Well, why is that?" She said, "Well, I had a set of twins. One died, and I was grieving real hard. My friends talked me in to going out just for a friend's night out, and got a babysitter for the surviving twin." She said, "I ordered a drink, and she said they said after I took a drink out of a drink, I acted a little bit happy. Nothing out of the usual, just sitting there talking. They were keeping an eye on me, but giving me space because I was grieving over that baby." Eventually, a group of people they didn't know came up and started talking to me, and they said I left with them. I found myself in a puddle of pee. I don't remember any of that. She said, "I got myself home. I was throwing up, so sick I could hardly sit up, and really messed up for a day." She said, 2 months later, I went to the doctor. They told me I was pregnant again, and I'm arguing with them that how can I be pregnant? I have not had sex with anybody. She said, "It's not that I don't love my son, but I don't know what happened to me that night." You're sleepwalking. I've talked to sheriffs out of this area. Those date rape drug, amnesia drugs are so bad. They control you for 4 to 6 hours. They could have drugged up somebody, those people that took down the towers, told them to do it, and they killed themselves and everybody else and didn't know they did it. Well, see, the police all know about amnesia drugs. Even LSD in the 1960s, hippies and stuff would take it and walk around hallucinating. Some of them got taken, some of them got raped, and some of them committed suicide. And they didn't know what happened, the ones that didn't commit suicide, what happened to them the whole time they were under the influence of it. I have a friend that lives out of state. I was talking to him. He said, got a call from one of my neighbors. Some crackhead was walking around her house. He was stark naked. She called 911. The police showed up, and he's standing there talking to him like it's nothing and didn't even realize he was naked. He says he's walking around high and didn't even know what he was saying or doing, just walking around. And then he was talking like it was nothing and didn't even realize he was naked. I would hate to think. And that would be a really mean stunt to get somebody high, strip him naked, and stick him in an old lady's house. That's really sick. You're sleepwalking. I've talked to other sheriffs out of the area. They all know about it, and they also know everything to be photoshopped. Hmm? That's where I went to even the prosecutor's office. I was talking to Abigail Watkins. I said, the FBI don't use sodium pentothal. I know. Nobody does. I know. Nobody drugs anybody. I know. You go to jail for that. Where they were bragging they had true serum, they laughed at everybody, they were just roofing me, and you all fell for it. Drugged me up and told me to say shit, and I had all the symptoms of being drugged, beaten, raped in my own home, and I never talked to anybody. And they were bragging in front of all the cops. They were using sodium pentothal on me and drugging me up and telling me to say all kinds of crazy crap. And I never talked to these people. And here they were laughing that they were doing it to me before, where I had the bruises, sick, throwing up, severe personal infection, and almost passing out in front of people. It's a big sextortion scheme, a human trafficking scam run on victims that they're trying to scam out of money. And people are such low-life idiots. They think it's funny they've got away with it. And people have died. I'm going to upload.